Baldy. Baldy, Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Ay, Baldy, Baldy. Oh, he likes meats and football. Oh, Baldy. That's right. Halfway home, he made the proclamation. The one, the only Baldy.
Guys, good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning.
Top of the morning, my
your driveway is all shoveled and cleaned up and getting ready for this coming weekend. Who would have predicted the NFC Championship game right here in South Philly? But here we are.
Now, are you in Florida right now? Escaping the cold?
I am in Florida. Got here late last night. That those cold temperatures just aren't me anymore. I did all that.
Man, I wish I could go with him.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it was like 6 degrees this morning. I mean,
who's counting anymore? Like it's just at a certain age you just go, I could do without it. So here I am, a snowbird down in Florida.
Well, you deserve it. You deserve it. All right. So we got lots to unpack. Let's start with Sunday and what you saw Sunday from Saquon. Let's go with the obvious. Let me hear you wax poetically. You're good as a poet. So hit me with some Saquon love.
I mean, look, it's he's Aaron Judge. You know, Aaron Judge goes to the plate. You got to watch. You just don't know what bomb he's going to hit. You know, he's going to strike out some, but he's going to hit home runs, and that's what Saquon is. He's the ultimate home run hitter. That's what he is. That's what he's done most of the season in every big game. I remember when the Eagles were reeling that game week 3 in New Orleans. They just come off a horrible loss to Atlanta. They don't have a single point on the board, and he breaks that one, off the left side behind Landon Dickerson and changed the whole game. It really changed the direction of the season. What he's done to the Rams are they got a lot of good defensive players. They're well coached. Like, you run for 500, almost 500 yards against the Rams in 2 games. We've never seen anything like it. His home run hitting ability, that jump cut in the snow, for the final one, 78 yards, to put the game literally on ice. You can't practice that because you can't practice in those kind of conditions. You don't know how your footing is going to be. You just trust your eyes and your feet, and you hope everything stays underneath you, and then you take it to the house, and you enjoy that moment right there with the fans.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. It really was. And on the other side of the ball, the beasts who saved the game. He saved the game all day long. He was incredible, right down to the big 3rd down sack, Jalen Carter.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's a handful for everybody. I don't know what the Rams were doing on protection on the final 2 plays, the sack, and then the final 4th and 11 incompletion. They broke down up front 2 plays in a row, but he took advantage of it. And, really, Matt Stafford couldn't get out of his way. It happened so quickly. But he's just, whether it's punching the ball out of Kyron Williams' hands, running a stunt with Nolan Smith. I mean, he's become basically the most dominant defensive tackle in the game right now. And it's kind of interesting. I mean, they had Fletcher Cox for so long that sort of handled that spot. But now he's playing better than Fletcher ever did. And he also plays more snaps. Like, he literally doesn't come out of the game. And so it's just remarkable, just his development, and then what he is able to do when the game is on the line right now. And that's what I would expect against Washington and a backup right guard right now. I would expect the same type of performance on Sunday.
It's funny because you brought up the Kyron Williams play. And to me, that was the game. Like, they were reeling at that moment. Had come off the safety. It was 2nd and 2 at midfield, right? Yeah. They're driving. They're going to take the lead at the very least with a field goal because there were money in the snow. And that turnover, to me, was truly the game.
I agree. I mean, it's a 16-15 game. And really, I mean, Kyron Williams is a great back. We saw it. He's been a great back 2 years in a row. And he doesn't turn the ball over. But, I mean, he came with a balled up fist with a knock. I mean, it was an Ali freaking jab.
Yeah.
Like it was a knockout punch, and he never saw it coming. He had no way to protect it. And I hadn't seen Jalen do that all year. I'd seen him do it last year, but I hadn't seen him do it this year. And I talked to him about it. Like, trail the play, get your hands on the ball. They're not expecting it to come from behind. And Kyron never saw him. And that Ali jab hit it just perfectly. And you're totally right, cuz it changed the game right there.
All right. What did you see from Washington on Saturday night against Detroit?
Well, I mean, it started with Dorrance Armstrong defensively. I thought it started with their defense. Getting the ball out of Jared Goff's hands on a sack fumble, and it was recovered. They were opportunistic. It was a great play at the end of the first half by the rookie Sam Ristel on a go route to Jameson Williams. They want to try to get back in the game before the half. There's 20 seconds to go, picks it off in the end zone. And then, look, the whole world is talking, and rightfully so, about Jayden Daniels. Because I thought it was the best game that Jayden and Cliff Kingsbury played together. It was formations. It was motions. The Lions couldn't get their eyes right. Jayden saw everything pre-snap, whether it was a Brian Branch blitz on 2 separate occasions to get the ball out there on the one to Terry McLaurin on the 58-yard, hitch and go. He saw that. He could have easily handed it off. It's a stacked play. Cliff Kingsbury's been stacking plays since I've known the guy. That means you can run this play or you can run this play. Both of them are good plays. It's up to the quarterback to decide. And when he sees Branch blitzing off the edge, he knows he's got 2 blockers on the outside against, 2 defenders. It's up to McLaurin to go run through the gauntlet, which he did, and finish it in the paint. I mean, just big, explosive plays. And Jayden Daniels makes it all work. He doesn't turn the ball over. He takes care of it, and he attacks at the same time. And so he's very gifted. He's very special. But I thought the combination of Cliff and Jayden was the best game that they had all year.
Yeah, what makes them dangerous to me is what they do on first down. And I saw that against Tampa. They won first down. They're able to win. If you're able to win first down, you know how it is. Like, especially with Dan Quinn and that outfit, they go for it all the time. And you're in 2nd and 4s and 3rd and 2s and 4th and 1s. It just leads to ball possession.
Well, I mean, they were 3 for 4 on 4th downs. Of course, the first one backfired on them. But, so that makes them 23 or 27 on the year. I mean, the Eagles have to defend 4 downs because they could go for Dan Quinn, could go, okay, we're with house money right here. Let's stay aggressive. We trust our quarterback with the ball in his hands to make good decisions, whether he keeps it, whether he throws it, whether he makes a magical play and extends a play. The Eagles have to defend, and they've been better than anybody else in the whole league at doing it, and a lot of it is the play of the quarterback.
Yeah. Now, to me, Sunday is a matchup. Fangio, right, who has been incredible. I mean, just absolutely incredible. And it's going to be fascinating to see what he does a third time to face Daniels. The first time, obviously, Daniels was dinged up. Second time, he played well. He ran for 81 yards, too. It'll be about what Vic has in store for the young quarterback.
I agree. He blitzed at the right times last week, blitzed both inside linebackers a couple of times, and they batted the ball down. They got home once. I mean, they were 6-man pressures where he's trusting his defensive backs to win one-on-one. They defended 10 passes, 10 of the 44 passes in the game. They defended it without any penalties. And that's with Quinion going out early, Isaiah Rodgers coming in. Now, they gave up a couple plays. There's no question about it. But he trusted those guys to keep him out of the end zone and make big stops. Now, if you go back to the first game against Washington, that's a 13-12 game in the fourth quarter. Washington goes for it on 4th and 2, and Zach Bond stones Jayden Daniels. It was a big play. Yeah. Huge play in that game. It was a big swing of momentum. Saquon took the game over. Can they do those kind of things again? I sent you that clip last week. They are not going to reveal what they're doing until the ball is snapped. They're going to stay in a two
I
deep
love that
shell.
breakdown, Baldy. The what you did in explaining that, because I asked you if you remember, I was like, "What does give me what Fangio does, right?" And it was brilliant because you can't get a beat on him until the as soon as the ball snapped. That's when he goes into action. It's really interesting.
Well, that's interesting. And then we saw it. We saw it Sunday, but we've been seeing it. Their answer, like Brian Robinson had a good game running for Washington. First game, and actually they ran the ball very well against Detroit. If the if you're in 2 tight ends, if you're in 3 tight ends, if you're 1st and 10 and you're running the ball, his answer is to go to 6-1. He's going to put Saquon off the edge. He almost intercepted a pass, getting in the passing lane on Sunday against the Rams. They're going to walk Cooper DeJean up. They're going to reduce the front. They're going to play a 6-man front. That's their adjustment. If you run the ball, they're going to take every gap away, all right, and make you throw on short yardage or 1st and 10 and get you out of that mindset. So it's not a secret to anybody now. We've seen enough of it. But those are 2 of the staples that Vic is running with right now. And then they're going to challenge your receivers. I mean, Cooper DeJean's going to challenge your slot receivers. They're not going to give Zach Ertz these free releases. He's caught touchdown passes in both playoff games right now. Look, we used to call it, and it still applies. It's no yak Zach, right? Like, he's not getting you anything after the catch, but he's going to get you the catch. And in the end zone, he still can run those little pivot routes, those little quick in cuts, like he did it Sunday against Detroit. But I believe that Vic is going to say he's not getting off the line of scrimmage on us. We're going to stone him at the line. We're not giving him free releases. And that's smart if they do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Baldy, we hear talk about how the Commanders kind of stopped the Eagles' run last game and from the first quarter on, but Jalen Hurts only played 4 downs. With Jalen Hurts is right and he's playing, is this running game unstoppable? We've heard like week after week they're going to load the box or this team's great against the run. Is this an unstoppable running game right now?
It's unstoppable if they keep feeding it. If they get out of it and get away from it, then you can stop it. So, if you're in constant 3rd and longs, you're going to have to do something different. But if they stay with it, if the score allows them to stay with it, if the conditions allow them to stay with it, it's unstoppable. We saw Mekhi Becton take Christian, Roseboom and literally, just punch him right out of his hole. And Saquon goes, 68 yards. It's really 62 yards. It's unstoppable if they stay with it. And so, as soon as Kenny Pickett came in the game, they really changed their whole game plan at that point. They stacked the box and weren't going to let him run it. Made Kenny Pickett throw. He got some throws to A.J. Brown, made some throws, but that whole game plan changed as soon as as soon as Jalen got blasted, I think, by Louisville in that play.
So how concerned are you? Obviously, Jalen's going to play, but how concerned are you about the knee and his own mobility?
I'm concerned. It's concerned because obviously, once that knee got, damaged like that, he was not much of a threat at all. Even holding the ball, on a bootleg, there's Kobe Bryant right there, can't escape a 310-pound nose tackle. Just takes, goes down, can't escape in the end zone. So you're concerned. He's going to play, but I don't know what his mobility is going to be. And so from that standpoint, it's a concern because obviously he starts the game with a 44-yard touchdown run on the 6th play of the game. That's his game, being able to pull it. Everybody bites on Saquon. He's following, offensive lineman into the hole. Heck, Joe Mailata doesn't have anybody to block. He's running down the field, untouched. And so, the game, the offense is really lethal when he has a 2-way go, whether it's throwing it or running it right now.
So ultimately, at first blush, when you're matching this game up, you seem pretty confident.
Yeah, I'm very confident. The Eagles are much better. I said, from the beginning that they're the best team in this tournament because they're the best team in the trenches that there is. And it's a couple of things. It's how the offensive line plays together, the play of Mekhi, the return of Dallas Goedert, huge in the run game and pass game as we've seen. And then the development of Nolan Smith and the development of Milton Williams, to come and play, and really the health of Josh Sweat. I mean, they're better than everybody else in this tournament in the trenches. And that's where these games are won. And so that's why I was confident. That's why I remain confident. Regardless of the status and the health of Jalen Hurts, I think they can overcome that in this game because they've still got playmakers all over the place.
Damn, Baldy saying they can win with Kenny Pickett even. I love it, Baldy. I love it.
That's your translation.
Yeah,
it feels
throw whoever you want back there. They're winning.
Well, I mean, it's they just have an embarrassment of riches where you need them the most. And so, you see Cam Jurgens on the final touchdown run. You see Lane Johnson, the final touchdown run, not allow any penetration on that play. Most right tackles can't cut off that 3 technique right there the way Lane did. Lane got right in front of the end on that play, and there was no penetration. All Saquon had to do was cut to daylight and then finish the play. But they've got, look, Jonathan Allen's a good player. Deron Payne, Johnny Newton, they're good players. They're not built to stop this front.
No, and I guess that was my question to you. How the Washington defense has gotten better. I mean, the kid from Michigan who we talked about makes a difference in the secondary. But I still don't know how they stop the Eagles. You bring up their O-line. Their front seven, and I love Bobby Wagner's had a great career, the whole thing. But that front seven against the Eagles line, to me, all day long comes up Eagles.
Well, not only that, but for example, if you go back to the Detroit game, Jared Goff throws the interception to Quan Mitchell, the safety. Now, Tim Patrick's sitting in a hole, but it's got to be a perfect throw. He sails the throw, and Mitchell intercepts it and runs it back. It's a pick six. Jalen's not making that throw. He's not throwing. Like, he might take a sack, he might scramble for 2 yards, but he's not making that throw. He hadn't thrown an interception. All right. If you take the Washington game, week 16 out because of the injury, they hadn't thrown an interception in 12 straight games. Like, he's not making that throw. Yet he's still making good throws. I mean, the throw to Devontae Smith over the middle that he gets, helmet to helmet hit on is a great throw.
Yeah.
The throw to A.J. Brown at the goal line is a great throw. 9 times out of 10, A.J. Brown catches that ball. I think he was thinking about scoring before he possessed the ball. That's just me.
Yeah.
He makes that catch 9 out of 10 times. But, he's not putting the ball in harm's way right now. He's not doing it. Now, you can debate whether that's good enough or whether that's the right approach, and that's fair criticism. But he's not putting the ball in harm's way. And so he's not making those mistakes right now that Jared Goff made. If the play is there, he's probably going to put it up there and let you go get it. And those 2 deep ball throws that he made were dimes, absolute dimes. Can't throw it any better. So I feel like they can be aggressive, but they're going to be smart. And maybe that's the right approach. Maybe it isn't, but I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know how that's not the right approach. I mean, honestly, like, if you're going to look at it objectively, they have had this season and they just win. And they win with this formula that you described, right? Like, I mean, I don't even get
if you look at these 4 divisional playoff games, the Ravens turned it over 3 times, Buffalo didn't. The Lions turned it over 5 times, Washington didn't. Houston's special teams stunk. From the opening kickoff of the game, they stunk. All right? The Rams fumbled twice. Like, those things get you beat in these playoff games. And if you don't turn it over and you're forcing turnovers, you're giving yourself, Matt Stafford's a Hall of Fame player. Sean McVay's a Hall of Fame coach. Like, they've got a great receiving core. They're pretty good. those turnovers killed them in that game. And so they made a lot of plays. Receivers are really good. The catch on the sideline by Nakua in the final minutes, it's a great play. Slay's right there, but the turnovers kill you, and the special teams kill you. And so, I'm worried about extra points right now, and missing extra points like that. Those things kill you in these games.
First blush, early read on Bills Chiefs.
Well, you just can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. You just can't do it. You can say all the things about Sean McDermott and Josh Allen and their offensive line, who was outstanding, just outstanding on Sunday.
Our boy
what they
Dion,
did to the Ravens.
Our Dion,
they're great. Dion Dawkins, they wholly call him Dion Dawkins, made me sick. But anyways, Buffalo beat them earlier in the year. It's a game worth going to watch. It was in Buffalo, but it didn't matter if we played it, in some parking lot, in Chicago. Like, I think you can't go against the Chiefs right now and how Patrick Mahomes plays in big games. The touchdown to Travis Kelce, it's just a great individual play. But I know Josh Allen can make the same type plays. I just feel like defensively, Spags is just special in these moments. How he blitzes, he's got everybody healthy right now. Spags, Andy, Mahomes, Kelce, in these moments, they just expect to be great. I feel like, and I've been saying it for 2 years in a row, I feel like they are incredibly bored during the regular season. And they play like it. And that's why they need a block kick at the end to beat Denver and all the things that they did to win these games. But they come alive in these postseason games. To hit C.J. Stroud 14 times, to take advantage of the protections that they had, which were stupid, but they still took advantage of it. I feel like the combination of the defensive coordinator, the head coach, the quarterback is still too much to ask Buffalo to go win that game.
Do you get frustrated, though? The one thing about Mahomes and the calls, there's those two calls.
Yeah, I was going to say, all that talent, and then the referees seem to be
Do you get frustrated at all with that?
Well, yeah, but he knows how to draw those there's some guys in basketball knows how to draw those fouls and get to the free throw line. He knows how to draw them. Could he go down and avoid all of that? Yeah. But he actually, he's flopping on the sideline. They don't throw the flag. He's sliding late, when he gets a call. He understands how the game is called. And they're going to err on the side of caution all the time. And so you can say, well, that's cheap and that's all that stuff. But he knows how to do it. He got 2 of them on Sunday. They barely laid a glove on him on the first one. They could have picked the flag up after they reviewed it. But they're going to protect these quarterbacks. And so, and I say that as, Jared Goff gets blasted by Frank Louvu. So, it's just, it's Mahomes. He understands every part of this game right now.
I know. I couldn't believe there was no flag on the Goff hit. That was, my God, he got destroyed.
Right.
Man, that was crazy. It was unbelievable. I guess back to the Eagles and Washington. The Cosme thing is such a huge loss for them. They're going to put their backup tackle and then play guard. How does that impact this game? And obviously with Carter, it's in neon.
Well, look, Cosme had a great season. He's a very, very dependable player. Started 19 games for him, but Trent Scott's going to go in there. He's their backup left tackle. So if anything happens to Coleman over there, I don't know what they do. They're Cornelius Lucas, if he's healthy, I guess. But, Scott's got his hands full on Jalen Carter. And so that's his spot. That's where he lines up most of the time, over the right guard. It's kind of where he lives. It's a lot to ask anybody. But at the same time, Jayden Daniels has such suddenness. You watch him routinely. If protection breaks down, it happened on Sunday where Josh Paschal came free right at him. And his ability to elude quick hitters, the rush is second to none in this whole league right now. So if Jalen Carter could get in there, he could win. He could win quickly with the swim, with power, or whatever. But Jayden Daniels is going to feel it, and it's going to be still hard to get him down to the ground.
You watched the game last night?
Yeah, well, I was on a plane. I watched it on a plane. I mean, I saw what Ohio State did. Notre Dame made it a game late, but Will Howard was amazing.
He was amazing, dude.
He was amazing.
I mean,
and Jeremiah Smith is like that. I think that kid is 18 years old.
Yes.
I think he's 18.
Yeah.
If he was in this draft,
yeah,
I'm told he's a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
If he's in this draft at 18. It's just Ohio State, nobody recruits wide receivers like Ohio State. Nobody. They've littered the league. This kid's the next great one. They're loaded, man. They're just loaded. But Howard was sensational in the game.
He was. Jeremiah Smith, it's amazing because the two best receivers in the country, Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams from Alabama, are both babies. They were both 17 going to 18 this year. And it was interesting because Notre Dame, I love the way they played defensively. I mean, at the end, 3rd and 11, you're going to go all out and try to make a play. And Howard just, you went man. The only time they went man on him the entire game, and he converted it.
Well, credit to quarterback and in the receiver. He bought himself some real estate. Kind of looked like he was bending it to a skinny post. Yeah. And the corner's playing inside out. No, he's got the sideline there. And it was a perfect route. For example, like that's a perfect play in that situation.
Yeah. And
then you go back, to Saturday night and Lamar's first interception, to Taylor Rapp. There's a breakdown between him and Rashad Bateman. Bateman's running a 7-cut and Lamar's throwing a go route. Like, how does that happen in that spot?
Yeah.
And Buffalo gets the takeaway. Well, you look at Ohio State in that spot, and you're right, because they came after him. They said, we got to deliver, we need the ball. We got to get one more possession. And they make that perfect throw route. They see it the same way. Like, that's how it's got to be. You've got to be totally in cahoots in that moment.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm sad. I'm gonna miss college football. We only got 3 games left. I get sad that
he's already melancholy.
I love it.
I get it.
It's the greatest.
Well, we got to live for Sunday, man. We got to milk Sunday for everything it's got.
Let's go.
Hey, Baldy, I need help real quick. I have an anniversary celebration tonight. The lady doesn't want to go out because it's too cold. Give me a cocktail at home for a little warm-up tonight. What would you recommend?
Well, it's whiskey. I mean, it's just straight whiskey.
All right.
Yeah, you can mix it. You can, Irish whiskey if you want to, in honor of the Irish and their effort last night and the coach and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's straight whiskey tonight, man.
Baldy's a tequila guy, though.
Let's have a good time.
Baldy's tequila all the way.
Yeah, I didn't know he was telling me some mezcal, maybe.
Yeah. He's a tequila. Forget about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Love you, buddy.